everyone, it's Bree, and as a kind of pre-warning for this video, this is one for the girls really. It's going to be on feminine wear, so if you're a guy and you get really grossed out by menstruation, I would definitely recommend you exit right now, and this is not really going to be of any use to you. Also, I know there are some younger ones who watch this. If you haven't started your period, this might be useful for you as well, but if not, then you might not want to exit this too. Okay, so today is not really going to be about anything to do with ME particularly, although it is kind of linked with it. But the main object of this is to talk about reusable menstrual products. Okay, so the two main types of reusable menstrual products are menstrual cups and reusable menstrual pads. This one I made myself, so please excuse the appalling sewing on it. But this is basically a silicone cup, and it works kind of like a tampon, and I'll get onto that in a minute. There are also some other types of products which I will mention in a second, but first I'm going to go on to the main point of this video. So I was kind of just starting my period and I went to my tampon box, and for the first time ever I realised there's a little leaflet in here which I've now got rid of, kind of stupidly. But anyway, in this leaflet it talks to you about something called TSS, which stands for Toxic Shock Syndrome. Now, toxic shock syndrome is a fatal illness and it is set off by tampons. I'm not entirely sure why it gets set off, but I know it's something to do with the chemicals such as chlorine and other horrible artificial things in these. Pads, however, you don't have any risk of this, but I don't like the feel of them at all. They feel horrible, but they also have chlorine in them too and are artificially made. So that's another bad thing you want to know, and all the fragrances are artificial too. So I kind of got into looking into the menstrual cup purely by chance. Someone on the ME forum actually was talking about it, and I wondered, oh, what's that? And then I went and had a look at it, and I thought, wow, I really like the idea of that. I can't actually use this one, but I can use my smaller one, which is blue. This is a Maluna Soft, and as you can see, compared to the Moon Cup, it's quite a bit softer. This is the small Maluna. So it's small Maluna Soft with the ball ending. There's a certain kind of stems you can choose. You can choose a ring stem, a ball stem, or a traditional stem, or even no stem at all, I think, as well. So I use this, and the way it works, you fold it in half and then in half again to make a kind of C shape. It's very bad seeing, that might be upside down, but anyway. And then you insert it into your vagina and it pops open and you kind of pull it out again at the end. This can also be left in for 12 hours, so I usually on my lighter days, just put this in the morning, and then when I go to bed at night take it out, empty it and redo it again. So, you don't have to worry about it in the day. It's really good for school and stuff. Unlike a tampon, you don't have to take it out every time you pee, which is a great thing if you're on a detox diet and you are peeing every 5 seconds. So that's that. There is also two other types of tampon alternatives. One of them is a fabric tampon, which you literally roll up and then you kind of insert it as you would without an applicator. Then you take it out, wash it in the washing machine, reuse it again. And there's also something called a sea sponge, which is where you wet it slightly and you also use that as a tampon, like a tampon too. I would say that if you haven't used a tampon before, you will find this a little bit more tricky, so for any of you guys who are out there who haven't used them, then I would not recommend using this until you tried that. Until you've got the hang of using them. But I'm sure most of you girls out there who are watching have used a tampon at some point in your life, so yeah. Also, as I mentioned before, these are reusable menstrual pads, and they are made of bamboo velour, which is so soft and silky. This is brand new, I haven't used this, don't worry. I actually made this one out of a kit I got, and it has wings like a normal one with poppers on, and it has a layer of Zorb inside, and it's fleece backed. And it just works as a normal one would, with poppers going around your knickers and stuff, and I won't pop it up now. And then when you finish with it, you take it out as you would a normal one, fold it up, and fold it over and pop it, and then throw it in the washing basket or in a special bag I have for these. Then I just chuck them in the washing machine and wash them and then ready to use again. So they're really not that much more difficult than normal pads, and they don't have any of the chemicals in them, and you can reuse them for like 5 to 10 years I think, or even longer. This one is reusable for a lifetime. These do require a kind of quite a big initial investment. These are actually only £11.80. This is a little bit more expensive I think. So this is This is That's Melina, and this is the Moon Cup. So yeah, those are that. They're also better for the environment. And one of the things that I reckoned about, these don't have any risk of toxic shock syndrome, which is why I also looked into them. Toxic shock syndrome actually has a lot of symptoms in common with ME, things like dizziness, headaches, stomach aches, so chest pain as well, I think is one of them. So, you know, I didn't think twice about these symptoms when I had them a while ago, and obviously it wasn't toxic shock syndrome or I'd be dead, but, you know, and I know I'm talking really fast here, but I'm trying to get this out of the way. So, yeah, I would very highly recommend you try these. I found them a lot easier. It does take a little bit of getting used to, but once you've used them, you'll be fine. I will link a really good website I found, which is femininewear.co.uk, in the bar below, so you can go and look there, and she has an amazing range of stuff that you can look into, and you can ask her questions as well. But I thought I'd just mention that. So I hope this hasn't been too much off topic and isn't too gross for you. But I'm sure as girls we all need to discuss this stuff, and as you probably already gathered, I'm not shy about talking about anything. So please feel free to ask me questions as well, and as I've said, I'm 15 and I can use this, and I haven't had sex or anything, so you know, you don't have to be older or something. There are different sizes for these. I think this one's for people under 30 who haven't had children, and there's a size A which is for people who have had children over 30. Okay, so that's it from me. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and I will talk to you later. Bye bye!